What's going on, guys? Welcome back. My name is Greg and these are the games we are going through Humble Bundle number 2 for the month of June. Now first off we have Stellaris, made by Paradox Interactive Games. It's a massive space empire management game and these are the sort of games I love watching and I love looking at because I'm crap at playing them. I would love to be so good at this game, but I'm really not. I played it for about half hour to an hour, really couldn't get to grips with it at all, but that's just me. It does look amazing. There's lots of YouTubers that play great playthroughs of it, so definitely go check out some of them if you haven't already. It's basically all about exploration, research, diplomacy, warfare, creating your empire how you want, and taking over the galaxy basically, exploring the galaxy, finding out new worlds, and conquering everything. Or maybe not, maybe making great alliances and just making yourselves rich, the richest alliance there is. There's so many customization options. I mean, I spent a good sort of 20 minutes just making a race. You choose so many different traits and different appearances and different laws and different earths, and everything seems to have an effect on the gameplay. Everything seems to, alter your experience, which is fantastic that there's a game out there like this. For me, it's sort of a mix between sort of EVE Online, if you've ever played that, and sort of a more of a classic real-time strategy game. Maybe sort of like Command and Conquer, but maybe a bit larger scale, well, a lot larger scale because you're in space, obviously. It's really you really can dig your teeth into it, and if you got a spare week off work, or got a weekend you're doing absolutely nothing, it might be worth picking this one up and just trying to play it and trying to understand how everything works. You can see the little ships flying around. You've got to build up your military. You're trying to explore different worlds to get different resources. There's just so much you can do, and it looks endless. And I really want to get into it, but I feel that I'm going to try and fail miserably. Next up we have Plague Inc. Evolved. Now this should be familiar to some people. This game started out as a mobile game. I remember playing it way back when on one of the original iPhones, I think it was. And it's come a long way since. It's still got the core gameplay, with the basic goal of kill all humans. Create a virus or a bacteria and wipe out the world. It's pretty good. It is quite a slow burner. It's kind of one you can sort of play if you're watching a film or a TV show at the same time. It doesn't require your 100% concentration all the time. You just got to make sure that you're popping the bubbles to get different points, which you can then use to sort of mutate your virus. You can give it different ways of infecting people through sort of coughing or sores or runny noses and all that sort of stuff. And then you can sort of also affect how it evolves. Will it be able to go into cold climates? Will it be able to go into hot climates? Will it be spread through air or livestock or rats or mosquitoes? It really does affect how you play the game, and it is kind of hard. You can see on some of these ones, it's hard to get every single island, every little bit. There's a few islands that are so hard to infect, like Greenland, Iceland and Madagascar are always, even in the original game, they were always the ones that were really hard to finish because they only have sort of one port each, and once your virus starts taking effect, then governments start doing certain things to sort of stop it, and they sort of try and start making a cure and they're trying to stop it, but you've got to try and kill all humans. It's probably a good thing. You might be doing the world a favour, especially if you start, let's say, in the White House. It'd be a good place to start. Give it a go. It is a great game. It's really simple, really easy to pick up, and it's a bit of a laugh as well. Really, you can name your virus whatever you want. It's actually got DLC built into it from the new Planet of the Apes films. It's got the simian flu. So many different options that give it sort of more replay value. I definitely would recommend picking this one up, regardless. And next up we have Ashes of Singularity Ascension, another large-scale real-time strategy game based in space. I haven't played this one. I did try to install it and it wasn't having it basically. But here's the trailer. It's got a very old-school Command and Conquer look to it. It's all about planning. and all about being 3 steps ahead of your opponent. You know, you can get these massive, I think they're called Leviathans or something, these huge ships which sort of form the core of your army, and it's all very heavily strategy based, kind of StarCrafty, kind of old school Command and Conquer-y. It looks really good. From what I've seen and what I've read, a lot of people are saying it's very multiplayer based, that the single player campaign isn't the greatest, it isn't the longest, and they've put a lot of their efforts into, you know, making a community for multiplayer, and, you know, it's all about outwitting your opponent basically. It could be good. Again, it's one of those games I would love to get into. I'd love to understand it and love to be able to micromanage everything, but I wouldn't be able to. My mind would not be able to cope with it, and that is one of my downfalls. But it looks great. It might be worth a go. I haven't played it myself, but lots of good reviews on it, so might be worth checking out. Next up, we have Superhot, created by Superhot Team. This game came out a while ago, and it looked odd. It always looked odd to me. I wasn't really a fan. Then it came in the Humble Bundle. Started playing it, and kind of enjoy it. Kind of a first-person shooter meets time manipulation game. So whenever you move, they move. Time moves on when you move, but if you stand still, then it doesn't, and you can sort of pop off the headshots, and you've got to try and avoid the bullets and work out where all the bullets are going to be ending up. And it's, once you get your head around the first sort of level or two, and you sort of understand where it's going, then it is, I tell you what, it is good fun. And what they do at the end of each level is they run you through like a not real time, sorry, but like a sped up version of what happened. So instead of like all the stopping and starting, it runs it through in one continuous go, and it does look really good. It looks like good fun, and you sort of pull off these really cool sort of headshots. And obviously, as it's hasn't got the stops and starts in it, it looks like it's just seamless headshots all over the place. And it looks great fun. And there's also like a section in the game that just has your replays, and it was good fun to play. You know, sort of, as I said, after the first sort of couple of levels where you're running through how to play it and where you've got to go and what you've got to do, you sort of just try and pull off new things and see if you can do it a bit better and see if you can make it look cooler, basically. And that's a good thing. That's always a good thing. Next up, Maze. Now, I had heard nothing about this game, created by Finish Line Games, and it is my favourite game in this bundle. I'm putting it out there, it is my favourite. I started playing some of it just to get some footage on for recording, and I played it for about 3 hours straight, like non-stop. It's a first-person adventure game, and now when you first start, it feels like a horror game. It feels like you've got to solve the puzzles, but something's always chasing you, you're not sure what's around the next corner, and I was always waiting for something to jump out at me. But it's not like that. It's, yeah, you've got to solve puzzles, and you've got to work out what items do what, and combine things to, you know, follow on the path and the story. But it's also got quite a lot of humour to it, and it's got a lot of, it's funny. Basically, it's about 2 scientists who create sentient corn. And if you don't know what sentient means, that means that corn that talks and is basically alive. That's all I'm going to say, because the rest of it is probably going to ruin the story. But it is great fun. Like, it's got a brilliant soundtrack as well. It's just nice, cool, relaxed music. And I just found myself keep going and going. And even though I was like, right, okay, I've got, 20 minutes of footage, no problem, I kept playing. I couldn't put it down, because I always tried to just, do you know what, I'll do the next bit. I just want to find out how to do this. And it's funny. It's good. It's a great little game. Once I finish doing all this, I'm going to go back and I'm going to finish it. It's one of those games I'm going to finish. Would be good maybe to stream or something if someone wants to do that. It would be great, especially if you've got the interactivity of viewers, trying to help you out how to solve the puzzles and where to go and what to do. Said, favourite game in this bundle this month. Next up, Brigid, created by Stellaris. I don't know how to explain this game. It's got the soundtrack of Hotline Miami. It's got a very distinctive 80s theme. I don't know why, but it reminded me of Blade Runner. And I've not seen a lot of Blade Runner. but it's cool. It's sort of retro gameplay, retro-y soundtrack. The controls are a bit odd, but they feel old. They feel like it hasn't evolved from 10 years ago, but it works as part of its charm. It's strange. You're working as like a rebel piloty sort of thing of different mechs, and you can flatten all these cities. You've got to assassinate certain people, but each mech, there's about 50 odd different robots, and they all have their own weapons, and so that means you have to do certain things in a certain way, and they're strong against people and weak against rockets, and it makes you think up how you play the game, and it was good fun. It was hard to get to grips with and really sort of understand what I was doing, because the story's a bit odd and it doesn't really focus on the story and tell you really what's going on. It's kind of like, hey, here's a mech, go kill these people, and you're like, well, I mean, if someone's gonna give me a mech and tell me to go kill people, I mean, I'm gonna go do it, but I want to know my motive. I want to understand why I'm doing this. But I think if you sort of spent more time with it and really got to understand it, I'm sure there's more of a backstory to get in this, go kill these people, because it kind of does, the art style and the way it all looks and the way it all plays, it kind of deserves a bit more depth, just to sort of make it like a really cool sort of indie game, and that could be really popular and sort of make comebacks every now and again, so people remember, oh, I remember this game, it had this great story and it's well out there. Yeah, it could be one of those sort of games. So that's Brigid. I can't explain it. I'm rubbish at explaining it. Maybe I need to play it more. But 80s gaming, 80s music. I'm not sure. 80s controls, maybe. It's worth checking out. Definitely try and give it a go. If you can pick it up cheap, give it a go. See what you think. Let me know what you think. It might be better. Next up, Shopkeep, made by Excalibur Games, which in its title screen is 3 people. This game. The only thing I can really say about it is that its soundtrack reminds you of RuneScape, the old school browser MMO RPG sort of game. It feels like basically you're running a shop in a kind of a fantasy world, and it kind of just leaves you at that. Its tutorials are awful. It doesn't really sort of give you any real direction. It just kind of says, right, there you go, you got a shop. Get on with it, and you got to try and make money. And sort of as you go through the day, you buy more inventory, and then you charge different prices and make a profit. You've got to order new items. As you go on through the game, you've got to deal with sort of barbarians and people trying to steal stuff. So you can sort of you can build the shop how you want. So you can put different shelves in different places and make it look kind of nice. But then if barbarians come along with thieves, then you've got to use, I think you've got a sword and like electric powers, which you can go and like kill people with. It's really strange. Really strange. It is the strangest game on this list, and that includes a list with a game that has sentient corn in it. That's the level I'm working with at the moment. It's not for me. It's not for me. It was a bit slow. There wasn't a whole lot happening. I'm not sure who this game appeals to be honest. It's not. There doesn't seem to be enough depth to it. Doesn't seem to be enough meat to it for it to be classed as a game that's not like a browser game. It's like a full release. It hasn't got enough to it, I don't think. That's my main problem. It feels very light on content, and just so painfully slow. You're standing around. I mean, I know I was trying to figure the game out, but I was trying to stand around, didn't know what I was doing. I was just walking around, and it was a bit pointless. Unfortunately, I didn't enjoy it. But you can't enjoy them all. There's got to be one bad one out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. You got one bad one. It's not bad. Okay guys, so thank you for watching. That was the Humble Bundle for June. If you don't know what Humble Bundle is, I'll leave a description to the website and the link below. It's a monthly subscription service where for about £12 they get a bunch of games together, which are usually worth about $100 odd when they're not on sale. And it also gives a portion of your monthly subscription to different charities related to games. And also, you get discounts in their own store, which you can use on Steam. It's a great little service. It does plenty of other different offers and bundles and games. They're worth checking out. As I say, I'll leave a description below. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up or even subscribe. There's loads of other content on the channel. I'll be updating as much as I can with a whole variety of stuff, from Bully to Humble to Far Cry recently, and that's been great fun. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.